Hello everyone, happy Monday! I'm Steve, Mark's getting ready for Mondays with Mark, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Welcome or welcome back. Yes, a surprise coffee talk. I just got home from work a little while ago. The coffee is Diet Coke. I know it's unplanned. So, why on a Monday? Well, I get home, I'm checking YouTube, and there is drama and some accusations involving a couple people that all intertwine that I watch, review, and other things. So I'm trying to make sense of community posts that have been put up and taken down, comment sections that have been disabled, folks who are choosing to keep aspects of their life private at the moment for some reasons that I think are understandable, and then another review reaction channel that I hadn't heard of that I'm trying to get a feel for to see if the information that they're putting out that they've pulled from is accurate, which I kind of got the feel for. So let me try to give you an idea of the characters that I think are involved in what's going on. So, in the interest of a full disclosure, why lie? Because biases are easy to spot. Here's the names: Life by Jen, Life by Gen X, which is Jean, Jen's partner, Vegan Cupcake for Life, who is from what I've seen, a reaction review channel, which has reviewed Life by Jen, and I've heard her mention Foodie Beauty. I'm very unfamiliar with her channel aside from the couple videos I've seen, so grain of salt with anything I have to say about her. And of course, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. So, trying to follow this timeline, which happened over 20 hours or so, I see come up because Jen, I follow Life by Jen. We talk offline. I don't have friends that are a lot of creators, a lot of the subscribers and commenters. We talk on like Messenger and maybe Instagram and stuff, but other folks who make content, I don't. Mark and I don't have a lot of those that we talk to. Jen is one of them. Check in periodically a couple times a week. I don't know Jean very well. I only know Jean as long as everybody else has who watches her channel. I've never spoken to him personally, but my assessment seems nice enough. I know people have other thoughts about him. I'm kind of taking it as it's shown. And like any couple, who knows what two people are like off camera? That goes for Chantal and Bibi. That goes for Jen and Jean. That goes for me and Mark. That goes for Amberlynn and Becky, I suppose. Though almost everything of theirs is on camera. Whatever. Again, Vegan Cupcake for Life, I don't know. I was only accessing her channel to get some screenshots I hadn't seen and to get a little bit of her input on Jean and Jen's relationship. And then Foodie Beauty, we all know that I review her once a week. I give a week in review. So I wouldn't say I'm a reaction. We're not a reaction channel. I give reviews of her. I would say a reaction has like the actual media of hers that you kind of do that thing with, and I don't. So, Jen and Jean, I guess on Kiwi Farms, there was a discussion that something had happened between the two of them. That Jean may have had a slip up. Jean and Jen are both in recovery. They both have a history with addiction. Jen deals with food. Jean deals with substance dependence. And a rumor began from a certain individual that there was an incident. Jen also, around the same time, had, according to her, accidentally made private a bunch of videos. So these things happening at the same time led to conspiracies and all sorts of things coming up, which I haven't talked to Jen about. I don't know. But she did post a few posts this morning asking for some privacy, saying that she was concerned that things were getting way out of hand, that there was a lot of crap that was going on, that rumors that the police were called to her home, that Jean had relapsed, that there was other concerns like that were untrue. She mentioned that Jean had taken a big step in his recovery, that there was other issues going on. And Jen seems to be more on the private side. Whenever there's issues like that, she'll pull away, and she really won't respond much on social media, on Instagram or anywhere else. So that seems to have kind of like squashed that. Now, I was trying to figure out how the hell did Chantal weasel her way into this. So Vegan Cupcake for Life was mentioned in one of Chantal's videos, maybe couple days ago, and Chantal mentioned her as a channel that does reactions that she felt was one of the more fair ones, which piqued my interest because I like to think, well, I used to be one of the more fair ones. I have a bit of a chip on my shoulder at this point for Chantal. So I was tuned in and getting ready to kind of get into her channel anyway. What brought me there a little sooner was that her name kept coming up in the comments section underneath Jen's videos. And then comments from Chantal were coming up in there. There was one, of course, that was taking shots at the people in the comments section who were saying stuff about Chantal. Chantal saying to them, "You guys are haters. You should see what you put on my channel." Basically, the just kind of being a repeating theme of Chantal's, that she's upset that other YouTubers don't get the same kind of hate that she gets, even though she believes that people hate her because she's overweight, and she thinks other people should be hated because they're overweight, but they're not. So she feels that she's being singled out. She doesn't understand the other reasons that people may single her out. Not single her out. There's a lot of other people who have those same traits on YouTube. They just don't happen to be overweight. Now, how does Chantal have time to insert herself into drama? Well, there must be a long wait in the Canadian emergency room, because Chantal has, I'm not going to say she's eaten herself to the point she exploded, but she did post that she had some complications. She, according to her, bent over to plug in her phone, and something like a non-infectious abscess, I don't know, not abscess, but I'm not a doctor, but something happened, and she was leaking discharge and fluid, and she went to the hospital, and apparently it's okay. She did say in the comment that she wasn't taking very good care of herself. The incision looked kind of clean when she showed it. I don't know what could have deteriorated over that time. If by not taking care of herself she means not following doctor's orders, I'd be curious which orders she wasn't following. She insists it has nothing to do with her weight, nothing to do with her size, even though she was a high-risk surgery for anesthesia, for other complications. It's always interesting to me when Chantal talks about her medical concerns, even her mental health concerns. Risk factors for all of her ongoing conditions is obesity. Now, no, according to her blood clots, certainly her OBGYN stuff. There's other people who are not overweight or obese that have these conditions. But to say that they're not exacerbated by it is naive at best, and insulting to the average person at worst. So, be that as it may, it seems like she had the time to kind of put herself out there. And she kind of did a turn toe, talking about vegan cupcake for life, where she had initially in one of her videos, and vegan cupcake in the video I watched of hers was like, why is she even bringing me up? Why is she even talking about me? Fair point, because I wouldn't want to get put on blast either, really. Especially as a smaller channel, it's kind of like, I don't really want to, I have my thoughts, but I don't want to be on Main Street for something like that. Had said to Jen, I never really, liked her anyway. Vegan cupcake wasn't really that, I didn't care for her. I've always liked you, Jen, even though we had our differences. I remember when Chantal tried to rip Jen a new one over supporting Charlie Gold, and there was all this and all that. So Chantal, again, looking for an ally, looking for a buddy, and since Amber Lynn won't give her the time of day whenever she tries to align herself with her, maybe she's shooting for Jen. That's a guess. This was a very roundabout way of doing it. And conspicuously, two of the most recent videos Chantal did, the comments have been disabled. And she's very proudly deleting comments that don't fit her narrative. Ones that don't build her up, and she's going to be ignoring the haters. So any feedback that doesn't make her feel happy, she's going to be getting rid of. I guess, we all deal with comments and feedback differently. Some people will get rid of the thumbs up, thumbs down. Some people disable comments. Some people respond to negative comments. It depends on how you decide to run your channel. I mean, that's all on you. As far as the folks here, Gene's channel is so new, Life by Jen, that's so new I don't even know how. I think he has 2 or 3 videos up at the moment. Jen tends to step back completely and there'll be like radio silence. Foodie Beauty will put things up and delete them, and put things up and delete them, and put things up and delete them. And then maybe apologize for it later, and then put something else up, and then get defensive, and then be very contrite, and then disappear again, and then she'll be a vegan. So we'll see kind of how that all sorts out. My only assessment of all of this, and I'm only even weighing in on this because I review one of the players who seems to be involved, and I know one of the other people who are involved, is everybody let's just settle down here. Let's just settle down. Jen said she's going to go do Netflix and chill. Good. Take some time. That's your relationship. And one piece for, I'm not going to point fingers. I don't want to be that guy. Vegan Cupcake for Life, talking about Gene and how he's handling his recovery. I'm a recovering addict, alcoholic, substance dependent, drunk, however you'd like to phrase it, that's okay with me. So is my partner, so is Mark. People deal with their recovery in different ways. Some people do the 12-step route. A lot of people swear by it. They say it's the last house on the street, last house on the block, and that's where they get well. Other people do stop on willpower. Some do, some don't. Some people use medication-assisted treatment, and they'll take medication daily. Some people use cognitive behavioral therapy and see a therapist. So it depends. Some people add a lot more fitness, or they go the more holistic route. So there's a lot of different ways that people can get well. So the fact that he may not be doing AA or a 12-step program isn't concerning. What would concern me is if he was doing nothing to help his recovery. If he wasn't doing any of those things and was just relying on, let's say, the relationship. No person should rely on just a relationship to stay sober, or just a job, or just going to the gym. Those things can be part of a recovery lifestyle. They can support it. They're protective factors. I know he and Jen talk about being very spiritual. That's also a protective factor. But there's a lot of ways people get well. So the fact that he hasn't been going to meetings doesn't concern me. What would concern me is if he was doing nothing to support his recovery. So that was the only thing when I listened to her recent video where she was laying out the groundwork, and thank you very much for doing so, because it helped me stitch together a little bit of what's going on, that I took any bit of exception to. Otherwise, the plus side of all this was that I was introduced to another channel that I like, Vegan Cupcake for Life. I do think she was very balanced. I got to catch 2 or 3 of her videos, and I intend to watch more. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time with her, I think, this evening. I do like fair reactions. I think that they're the best. I think nobody's all good, all bad. I have to say, this will preempt next week's coffee talk, and so this will cut some of the discussion out that we'll probably have for next weekend. I am not surprised that Chantal's back in the that she was back in the hospital. I think it'll probably happen again. I don't think self-care is one of her strong suits, unfortunately. And post-op, it doesn't surprise me. I don't think she did herself any help by the diet that she was doing, or by getting around too much. I mean, she was up and about, at least around her house. I mean, she didn't leave the house. She was supposed to go get blood work, and she never went. So, I mean, it's not like she was doing that much, unless she was moving furniture or something. But at any rate, dishing on Chantal is for next weekend. So, everyone back to your corners. Everyone back to your corners, and just regroup and see if this still seems important in like a day or so. Okay? Let's just chill out. Let's just chill out. Chantal, tend to your wounds. Jen, Jean, go hang out and do Netflix. Everybody just relax. And Vegan Cupcake, you got dragged this way and that way. I don't think that was cool either. For someone to say that they like you and support you, and then in the next breath say they didn't like you and support you. I'm not surprised by the person who did it, though, because it wouldn't be the first time that person has done that. So, and Kiwi Farms, I've never found anything true there. Ever. So, So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact information is listed below. Thank you for watching. If you could follow that. If you have different information or better information than I do that would correct something I said incorrectly, please don't hesitate to leave it below. I'm not, great for gossip, but I do like facts just to make sure the stories are right. So if I said something that was out of line or incorrect, feel free to correct it down below, okay? I'm not too proud. Thank you for watching, and Mark will catch up with you later, and then we will catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.